Hello guys, and welcome to a brand new video. And today's video revolves around the new game Assassin's Creed Odyssey that everyone talks about. And basically in this video we're gonna examine all the abilities in Assassin's Creed Odyssey in detail, and we're gonna talk about them all. So let's do this. So guys, before we begin explaining all the abilities in the new game Assassin's Creed Odyssey, there are three types or playstyles that we need to explain first, which you can develop and improve through this game, and each playstyle has its own abilities. First, we have the Hunter type, which is more focused on range attacks and improving your distance gameplay. Second, we have the Warrior type, which is offensive and is more combat driven. And finally, we have the Assassin type, which is basically stealth and discreet assassinations without making too much noise for the people who like playing like that. And with these types of abilities or types of gameplay, we also have other abilities or other skills that you can improve through the game with the ability points, which we're gonna go through in a second. So guys, let's begin by talking about the baseline abilities. First, we have the Summon Phobos ability, which is basically an ability that you can use to call your horse when you have a problem. And you can even use this ability to call your horse while you're running to auto-mount him. Second, we have the Meditation ability, which you all know about, and it helps when you want to move time forward. Third, we have the Eye of Icarus ability, which is an ability known in Assassin's Creed Origins, and this ability allows you to use your bird, Icarus, when you need to tag enemies in an unknown territory or even attack the enemies with it. And number 4, we have the Assassination ability that you can apply using the Spear of Leonidas, and depending on the enemy, you can either kill him or deal heavy damage. In number 5, we have the Leap of Faith ability, which is a new ability, and this is quite a useful ability in the new Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because when you jump from a high place, you can now survive that when you use this ability, and you can even prevent damage if you upgrade it, and this is honestly quite good. In number 6, we have the Whistle ability, which is useful to attract the attention of heavy enemies and assassinate them without making so much noise. In number 7, we have the Knockout and Recruiting ability, and this is also a new ability in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and basically with this ability you can recruit enemies to join your ship after you defeat them, and then you can assign missions or roles that you can do or that they can do, and then you can benefit from that later. At number 8, we have the Defensive Maneuver ability, which is an ability that you can use to dodge or parry an attack before it hits you, and that's quite good in combat situations. At number 9, and finally, we have the Man-at-Arms skill, and this is the last skill you can use in the baseline abilities, which let you equip a second weapon from your inventory, and then you can sweep or swap between weapons if you like to. And from all the abilities that we've talked about, only the Eye of Icarus and the Leap of Faith and Man-at-Arms are upgradable when you go further in the story. So guys, let's dive into the Hunter abilities. At number 1, we have the Devastating Shot skill, which is an ability that allows you to fire a powerful arrow shots to your enemy, and this can also increase the effectiveness of fire and poison arrows. At number 2, we have the Ghost Arrows of Artemis, and this is basically a skill that lets you shoot arrows that can go through shields, enemies, and even walls, which is quite interesting if you want to kill someone without others noticing. And at number 3, we have the Overpower Bow Strike, and this skill lets you charge a powerful arrow that deals massive damage and explodes on impact, and this is quite good when you want to kill a large group of enemies, but this ability uses 2 adrenaline segments. Next up, we have the Archery Master skill, which will increase the damage that your arrows normally deals by 15%, and if you upgrade this ability, it will help you refill your adrenaline segment outside of combat. Next, we have the Rain of Destruction ability, which will allow you to throw a huge number of arrows that will rain on your enemies, and it will deal massive damage. Next up, we have the Beast Master ability, and this ability helps you tame wild animals, but only one wild animal can be tamed at a time, and this is quite good when you need help or to make a distraction somewhere while you sneak up to kill your enemies. Then we have the Arrow Master ability, and this ability lets you use paralyzing arrow that can knock out your enemies instead of killing them. Then we have the multi-shot ability, and this ability you can use it to target enemies at the same time and shoot an arrow that deals heavy damage to each one of them. Next we have the predator shot ability. With this ability you can control the direction of your arrow through the air to hit your enemy more precisely and deal massive damage to them. Then you have the Sixth Sense ability, and this skill allows you to slow time up to 5 seconds when seen by an enemy so that you can be able to target them by an arrow. Finally we have the Spread Shot ability, and this ability allows you to shoot a spread of 3 arrows at the same time, and if you upgrade this ability you can shoot up to 5 arrows at the same time. Next up guys, we have the warrior abilities, which are very important in close combat situations. First, we have the charged heavy attack abilities, which help you unleash a powerful attack to your enemies, and this is quite helpful when you want to knock back your enemies or break their guard. Second, we have the Spartan Kick, which is a very known move in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and this skill allows you to knock your targets back, but it won't kill them. Instead, you can recruit your enemies after you defeat them with this skill. After that we have the Bull Rush, and this ability allows you to quickly rush towards your enemies and knock them down. Next up we have the Second Wind ability, and this ability helps you to refill your health if you want to escape from a combat or when you don't have health anymore, and if upgraded this ability will help you refill up to 35% of max health. Then we have the Shield Breaker ability, and this skill simply breaks the shield of your enemies and stun them on impact. Then we have the Flaming Attacks ability, and this ability is very interesting because you can create fire with your melee weapon or your arrow to burn your enemies and inflict more damage to them. Then we have the Gear Master ability, which helps you increase the power of your armor to be able to reduce the damage inflicted by your enemies. After that we have the Ring of Chaos ability, and this ability allows you to do a blast that will stun your enemies that are surrounding you within 3 meters, and it will help you when you need to escape. After that we have the Overpower Attack ability, and this skill is basically a massive powerful attack depending on the weapon you're using that inflicts massive damage to your enemies, but these moves require 2 full adrenaline segments to use. Then we have the Fire Mastery ability, and this skill it will increase the attacks that you do when you use fire weapons and will deal heavily damage to your enemies. Next we have the Battle Cry of Ares, and this ability will allow you to inflict more damage in a period of time to your enemies, and in this period of time all the attacks of your enemies will become non-lethal to you, and this is quite interesting. Now let's talk about the assassination or the assassin abilities. First we have the Shadow of Nyx, and with this ability you can become invisible and your enemy will not be able to see you, but you need to stay still while using this ability. Then we have the Stealth Master ability, and with this skill you can reduce the noise you make from movement or assassinations so that your targets won't notice anything. After that we have the Slow Time ability, and this skill allow you to slow time and move faster than your enemies for a period of time, which is like 5 seconds. Then we have the Hero Strike ability, which is a strong strike with the Spear of Leonidas that will inflict massive damage to your enemies. Then we have the Revelation, which is with this ability you can use the Athena's Sight to reveal all the secrets like chests, hidden passages, and you can use it to target the enemies that are nearby. We have also the Venomous Attack, which you can use to intoxicate your enemies and with poison, and you can use this ability to weaken their defense and their guard. Then there is the Critical Assassination ability, and with this skill you can execute a deadly attack which will kill your enemies on the spot if not seen. After that there is the Push Assassination, and it will allow you to launch the Spear of Leonidas at specific distance, which will cause heavy damage to your enemies. After that we have the Poison Mastery, which is a skill that will allow you to use poison in your melee weapons and arrows and inflict more damage to your enemies. Then we have the Vanish skill, and with this skill you can stun enemies for 6 seconds and then use that to attack them. Then there is the Call to Arms ability, and with this skill you can summon a lieutenant that will distract your enemies while you sneak up and kill them. And lastly, you have the Shadow Assassin ability, and with this skill you can automatically loot enemies after you knock them, and this skill will increase your attacks by 15%. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, you can share and subscribe to the channel, and you can tell me in the comments below what you think of the new abilities in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I will check that out. And for the next time, bye bye.